may want to end this because I know and I know I kind of said something a little bit different, but like, what's like the bare minimum somebody should do at least? I mean, if nothing else, if somebody's saying I can't afford it, I don't have the money, I'm a small business owner, I just started, I mean, I'm not saying that people are making it up, but the reality is people are limited. At a minimum, what's the bare minimum they should be doing?
At a bare minimum, and this is absolutely a stellar to do. Make sure all of your images have alt attributes assigned to them, because I refer to alt text as the gateway to litigation, because it's like, 90+% of claims involve missing alt text in one, and it might be for more than one claim. But if you add alt attributes and you run an automated scan, no errors are going to return on that scan. Doesn't mean your major image is accessible, but what you have done is you have prevented any automated rule set from detecting that you are missing an alt attribute. And here's why this is partly why this is not fully accessible. It's not even accessible at all, but it's a hack. But if you have a decorative image, you don't need to have alt text assigned, because why? Someone using a screen reader, that's irrelevant. You don't need to relay, let's say, a graphic I have under my navigation bar that just makes it look clean, right? That's not a meaningful image. That doesn't need to be relayed. So we'd add an empty alt attribute to that. But if there is a meaningful image, then you would add alt text. But and this is getting into the limitations of automated scans. An automated scan is not going to be able to decipher the difference between meaningful and decorative images. So if you have alt attributes assigned to every image, that is going to reduce your error incidence.
Because and they're also trying to do a hack, right? The plaintiff's lawyer, they are also not going through every website. They're using some kind of software to figure out, okay, or looking for the bare minimum. If they notice I'm sure there's some things that they notice right away. They know a website doesn't have that if they don't have an accessible statement, or if they accessibility statement or the alt attributes. Any other hacks that you recommend? And I know, and I want to be cautionary. I told, and I'll make this very clear. Look, I 100% agree with you that the most effective and efficient way would be to make your website ADA compliant, because it is good for your business. You are serving a subgroup. Having said that, I know there are financial considerations. And so I'm trying to be a little practical with my clients. And so I definitely want to tell you that, so that way, you're not giving anyone false hope that, hey, if you do this, they won't sue you. Because the reality is, even if you just do the bare minimum, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
And yeah, and I understand that. And so there are some things where there are some very important things where it's just, you have to have that developer background or it's not going to happen. But I also, closed captions, accurate closed captions on videos.
That's a great idea.
Have those, because even non-technical people can work through, most videos are hosted on YouTube, work through the YouTube settings and have closed captions on those. Also, your heading levels are not that difficult. They are very important. They are very helpful for accessibility. They help navigation. So someone's able to navigate by heading. And if you have your headings properly nested, there's a hierarchical structure to headings. Every page has an H1. It starts with an H1 because that's your main topic, right? That's what the page is all about. And then the subheadings are the H2. So let's say we have starter law firm, and then your areas of practice are the H2s under that H1. And so having those can, it's going to reduce your error alerts. And if you have those, it's going to improve accessibility, and they're not difficult. I'll tell you, having page titles assigned, having descriptive page titles and a unique one at that to every page, that is very easy to do. And it's very light code work. It's actually very quick to do. And it is something that I have seen claimed in litigation. So this assigning a proper language. So in most cases, for everybody watching this, or almost everybody watching this video, it's going to be English, but whatever the language of your page is, have that language assigned in the code. And that's another area that can come up. And that's another WCAG success criterion that we're looking at. So these are some non-technical things that you can do to improve accessibility. I would say also look at third-party integrations. if you have, let's say you have a social stream and that social stream is inaccessible or produces an error on a scan, then look at the risk reward of that and decide whether the benefit is worth even having that. What I recommend is that in some cases you just remove content altogether if you can't make it accessible. Look at your third parties that you're reliant upon, right? Like if I've seen a lot of banks involved in litigation not because necessarily the bank website was inaccessible, but because the actual if you go through and you look at the actual not plugins, but they're integrations that they're relying upon, they're using a third-party service or product or platform, and the third-party service product platform has accessibility issues in it. So then they're roped into that, right? There was a case in California, and I think this was a state court case, where it was a restaurant using a menu service, a reservation menu service, and that was inaccessible. And so, and then the court explicitly said, you can't hire someone and then, I can't remember the exact quote, but basically you can't hire someone and then have them have them produce something inaccessible, and then you outsource the
it's kind of, I think the whole thing with Shopify, I think you're using the example is like a lot of websites do use Shopify for their shopping cart. They, and they have their own website, but the reality is Shopify, if it's not accessible, you're still liable. It doesn't really matter. Like you said, the beginning of the video, that they're going to be liable. It doesn't matter. You can't say, well, I use someone else. That's
right.
Not a defense. Maybe, okay, so are there any affirmative defenses or that you recommend or that are like someone can refer to, or no?
Any defense attorney in the space needs to look at standing, right? And from multiple angles on standing. What I also have seen, and then this is important for anybody in the Second Circuit, is a way how to get this dismissed. And the term is escaping me, but basically having evidence of accessibility. Like if you show that your website is accessible, then it's very possible that you can get your case dismissed. Now, there are several steps you need to do this, and the term is just escaping me at the moment. But there is a way. There are courts that are receptive to, like, no, actually, our website is accessible. These are wrong, and these claims are wrong, and we can show it. We can prove it. And so that's where we get into, a lot of people ask about certification. How do we prove this? And there are different ways to do it. The primary method is through a conformance statement issued by a reputable accessibility provider. But also user testing can help with that as well. But with user testing, you want to make sure you get it done by, again, a professional service that does this. But sometimes even, and this worked in the case, and I think it was Kroger v. Diaz. This worked in this particular case, but or Diaz v. Kroger, but it wasn't, they had their employees speak to their accessibility. I don't think that would work in most cases. Right. But the point is that you can have some evidence of accessibility, and if you can do that, then that would help in getting a case dismissed.
Well, Chris, you cover. I mean, I know we didn't cover. We only just tipped. You covered. So, where can somebody find you? I know I stumbled upon you. How does someone find you?
I would say adabook.com is a good place to start. Accessible.org is a good place to start. And if you go to those two websites,
I'm recommending your book to all my clients and to the developers. I'll be sending it to them. Like I said, I went through it a little bit quickly, but definitely easy to read and follow. And like you said, it's a quick read, but it covers a ton of information. You distilled hundreds of pages into it's amazing. You did a great job there.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me on your channel.